Good, good morning, beautiful souls. I'm out here today once again on my walk and talk a little bit later today, as last night I did the meditation, sound bath, and breath work from my Port Adelaide studios there. So I got home a bit later, so I had a little bit more of a sleep in this morning just to make sure that I'm getting enough rest because rest is so important as we talked about yesterday. So what I want to talk into for you this morning is something that's come up, and yesterday with a couple of my clients during the day, I always incorporate the breath work into everything that I'm doing. So whether we're doing coaching, we're doing Reiki, or massage even, I still bring in the breath work. And it was interesting because one of my clients said to me yesterday, "Oh, you really love the breath. You put that into everything." And I said, "Absolutely, because the breath is the icing on the cake. Because when you morning, when you breathe." And I've just been listening to the book, the same book I've been listening to, The Rushing Women's Syndrome. That's amazing. And again, it's a great reminder. So some of these things that I'm already doing and I'm knowing, but just to have listening to, an expert talk into it is so great because it's just that reminder of going, yes, good. This is good for my body because I know it feels good for my body. So getting that information that it is actually the best thing for you. So one of the things she's talking about is the autonomic nervous system. So, when we're in the fight and flight and how when we're always in that space, it sets off adrenals and it can create disease in the body, through rising your insulin levels to then taking you into diabetes or holding on to extra weight because the cortisol levels are going up. And it's like this jigsaw puzzle, and all of a sudden you can see the picture appearing when you put all the pieces together. And one of the things she said this morning is that the breath, your breath is the most important thing that can regulate because your autonomic nervous system, the ANS, goes with what's on the inside. So if you're freaking out, if you're stressed, if you're anxious, if you're all of those things, that's how that system in your body is going to come from what's happening on the inside. So you need to calm that down. And as I say this all the time, the fastest way you can bring yourself out of fight and flight into the calming space is through the breath. And your breath is the breath of life, right? So it's your breath of life. You take your first breath when you're born, and one day you're going to take your last breath. And every day you're breathing. Oh, look, I can't tell you the figure. I think she said something like 10,000 or whatever. There's amounts that you'll breathe in and out. And it happens automatically, doesn't it? You're not actually consciously breathing. You're just breathing to stay alive. Your body, and how incredible are our bodies that they're actually doing this breathing all by itself. We don't have to think about breathe in, breathe out, unless we're actually doing a conscious breathing workshop or something, or we're sitting in meditation and consciously being told to breathe. We're not thinking about it. It just happens, right? It just happens. So one of the things that I want to really talk into today is, when was the last time you were consciously breathing? And that means that you are consciously focused in on the breath coming in your nose and the breath coming out. And if you've ever been to any of my sessions, whether it's ice bathing down at the beach or whether it is, at a meditation like last night, or you've had a one-on-one session with me, I'm always going to, the first thing I'm going to do before anything else, I'm going to take you through the breath. Because the first thing I want to do is I want to clear out any energy that you might be hanging on to, any thoughts, any feelings in the body. Right, I'm just going to just breathe into the breath. And it calms the body. I can feel that already, and I'm walking. So because I'm walking and talking, I'm using a lot more energy than if I was just walking. So in doing that, I can feel it, I'm almost holding my breath when I talk because it's hard to walk and talk, right? So just by stopping and taking a few deep breaths in, it brings the body back down, takes you out of fight and flight. It really helps if you're having an anxious moment or even if you're having a panic attack, just to breathe in the breath and then release the breath out. So, if you ever go to a scene where somebody's either had an accident or you're the first point of call somewhere where, like, it could be just a car accident or it could be just somebody's fallen over or something's happened or they're upset, something's happened. What's the first thing that they tell you to do? We just automatically say it unconsciously. We say, it's okay, just breathe, right? Because at the end of the day, breath is the only thing that matters. And I was talking into this last night, into my session, and I said to them last night at the meditation, and I said, nothing else matters in this moment. The only thing that matters is your breath. And if we really want to strip down and get really bare in our thoughts, you think about it. If you could take away everything in your life right now, even take away your clothes, right? So you're not defined by your clothes, right? What are the couple of things that you need? You need your breath. Number one, you need your breath. You need water. Can't survive without water for too long, too many days. Starts to dehydrate. And then the third thing is some food, because you can go without food for probably a week, but after that you need to nourish your body. And it would be nice to have some shelter, have some roof over your head somewhere, tent, and anything, right? Just something so you're protected from the elements. And at the end of the day, that's the four things that is your greatest need. So again, when we can come back to the breath and realize that going to that gym session, and I'm not saying these things aren't important, right? Listen to me really clearly in this space. Not saying that's really not important. It is, right? I'm walking right now. But what I'm trying to get across to you is that sometimes in the rushing woman's syndrome, we are so busy, and I do this myself, put my hand up, have to be reminded that we are so busy thinking about all the things, even when we're in the moments of doing other things. We're thinking about those other things. So our mind is rushing. And when our mind is rushing, that is sending signals to the rest of our body. Even though I might not be physically moving, my body is rushing. My cells are feeling that feeling of being rushed, busy, right? And it's so important, and I said this yesterday, it is so important that we really learn how to slow things down, because it's not good for our health. We need to find things that are going to help us to slow down, to clear the mind, get out of the mind, and get into the body. And the quickest and most effective way to do that is through the breath, right? So, and I love using the triangle breath, which is, if you imagine a triangle, and as you come up the side, you're taking a breath in, and you can take that in from either 3 or 5 counts, depending on how expansive your lungs are. Might take you a while. So breathing in for 3, then you're going to hold down the other side for 3 or 5, depending on whatever you took in. And then across the bottom of the triangle, you're going to release it out through your mouth. And when you do breathe, you're going to breathe. When you breathe in, you're actually pushing your belly out, because imagine that your belly's like a balloon. So as you breathe in, it's like you're blowing up the balloon, and your belly's going to expand. And then when you release, you're going to let all that air out of your belly, and you're going to push. It's like your belly button is being pushed through into your spine. So you and suck it all in, right? And breathe it in, so you're expanding. So you're bringing your belly out, and then and when you're exhaling, you're breathing in. You're breathing out, sorry, but your belly's going in. It gets confusing at first because it feels like you're going the wrong way. But most people find this challenging at first because they're so used to living up here in their breath. They're breathing in their chest. They're not getting down to the diaphragm, down into the belly breaths, right? But that's where you want to get the breath down to, all the way down to your belly, right? Really, so you can utilize that in your belly, in and out, in and out. So today, I would encourage you to practice that today, even just doing 10 breaths in and 10 breaths out. And if you did that once or twice today, and then see how you feel throughout the day. See how you feel, whether you were less stressed today, if you felt a little bit more clearer in the mind today, if you felt, at first, you might feel a little bit lightheaded because you're not actually used to getting that much oxygen into your body, right? But if you could do that every morning, and maybe do it just before you have lunch, don't breathe on a full stomach, it's not good. So make sure you've got an empty stomach, and then do it before you go to bed at night. It's going to calm you. It's going to help you to drop into a deeper sleep, because as you're breathing in and you're breathing out, you're bringing in more of a relaxed state to your body. So, Thursday, breathing day. Remember to breathe. Remember to breathe. So, try that out today. Love to know how that feels for you. And if you want to join us for some breathing, Friday night, when we're down at Semaphore, we're doing a sunset ice bath breath work, some meditation, and a bit of dance movement, because it is Friday night, and who doesn't like a bit of a jiggy on the beach on the Friday night under the sunset? So you could join us there, or you could join us Saturday morning, whichever suits you best. Love to see you. If you can't find my link on my page, please just reach out and I will send it to you personally. You can also find our website, Icebreakers the Tribe. So, I hope this helps you today. As always, remember these 3 things. You are beautiful, inside and out. You are loved. unconditionally you are loved. And you are so worth it. You are worth every moment. You are worth the investment in yourself. Sending you so much love and light. Mwah. I so look forward to seeing you all again very soon. And remember, just